Your net worth is usually determined by what remains after your bad habits are subtracted from your good ones. Benjamin Franklin. My friends, let's make our good habit being 10 to 15 minutes a day, following these charts, learning, understanding, growing in your knowledge and abilities. We ask 10 to 15 minutes, not 2 hours on a Sunday, but 10 to 15 minutes a day to learn the nuances of tracking, practice trading, fractional trading when you get better with your practice trading, are ready to step up to the next step. Doing the daily trainings that we put out in the emails. If you're not a subscriber, go to chartingwealth.com, sign up for free. The training today is the secret for maximizing the Monday effect. If you don't know what the Monday effect is, well, that training is for you. And it means a great deal, is very helpful to know. And I'm doing that because today is, of course, our weekly review and forecast. And the Monday effect is typically what carries over from the way that the stocks or ETFs closed on Friday. You'll learn more about that in that training. If you're not getting it, sign up and be a subscriber. Also, Patreon members, do not forget this coming Wednesday, what is that going to be, the 6th? No, that'll be the 7th of April at 12:30 Eastern Daylight Time here in the U.S. We appreciate all of our European friends and folks from South America, everywhere around the globe. All of you who join us live, thanks for being with us. Those of you who can't, we try to always tape that show, video it as a screencast, and then we immediately send it out to you, typically that same day. So get your questions in, the stocks, ETFs you want us to help you track. And I've got some exciting news for our Patreon members about weekly vertical crossovers and a service we're going to be starting to providing you with the weekly vertical crossovers in the S&P 500, up and down, that'll be occurring every week. Just a little good news there. Don't forget you also get that special training that we have, Charting Wealth's Options Made Simple, the Charting Wealth Way. Let's jump into these charts. We see every single thing up for the day. The S&P, the Nasdaq 100, 20-year bonds, and Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the slowest gainer, so that's interesting. But again, Bitcoin has, as you guys recall, it has that overall mood of a down move on the weekly chart and also on the 2-day chart. We'll touch on Bitcoin here in just a minute. How do we see this week ending for the Nasdaq 100 and the S&P? We'll start with the S&P. Green up candle. My friends, it has reached a higher high. It is up to $400. Over $400 was the high on the S&P. Not enough energy to cross over going up yet. Derivative oscillator also still negative. Could happen next week. We look at the 2-day chart, and of course that latest 2-day candle formed on Wednesday. This is the 1-day Thursday candle. Don't forget, of course, markets are closed tomorrow, but it's a big candle, a booming, and again pushing over, heading up. We see that half-day chart has been moving since Monday, the 26th of March. We can see where things had bottomed, and this has just been a big week as things have just cranked further and further up. We had a little bit of a pullback there about midweek. When was that? That was on Tuesday, and then of course up on Wednesday and Thursday. So we do see the S&P moving up higher. We'll wait and see how things after the Easter holiday, when the markets get open again on Monday, how they continue to move. Oh, for the record, up 1.08% now. The Nasdaq 100, which had been going down and sliding sideways into the week, up sizably on Thursday, 1.70%. It was our biggest gainer for the day. What had been looking like a doji turned into a big spinning top with both wicks up and down. We see the price percent oscillator that was heading down is flat, still negative, but flat. Derivative oscillator losing downward momentum. That's on the weekly. On the 2-day, again, trying to cross over, going up. And again, a sizable candle formed just on Thursday, hammering through that 2-day trend line. So again, that's where we are there. You can see on the half-day chart when things flipped over on Wednesday the 31st in the morning and then moved up on April Fool's Day. That's where we are as far as stocks go. Going to go to bonds. Bonds also up. Pretty big, 1.52%. Now, bonds still have, though, a green spinning top. Price percent oscillator still negative, but flat. Derivative oscillator losing downward momentum. Now, that 2-day chart, of course, crossed over going up on bonds back on Monday the 29th. Down Tuesday, Wednesday, up Thursday. So, again, we'll continue to watch and see where bonds go as the new week starts. And of course, up in the morning, further up in the afternoon, blowing through not much of a trend line. We just don't have much to draw there, but we can see that up movement. Now, lastly, on our 4 big charts, we go to gold. Gold still shows us a down candle for the week, but it's got a long wick on the bottom because of the up movement, particularly on Thursday, 1.26% price percent oscillator still heading down. Derivative oscillator has been losing downward momentum since gold popped that bottom back on the week ending Friday the 12th of March. So again, sliding sideways, tending down today. It crossed over going up, actually back on the 2-day candle ending Friday the 19th. It went sideways and up a little bit for 4 more days, down for 4 days, trying to recover now. The price percent oscillator bouncing off the red signal line. Derivative oscillator never went negative after that crossover and actually gained a little at the on this latest 2-day candle. Look at the half-day chart. You can see where it crossed over going up. Now, what does this mean for gold? Well, I am hopeful at some point gold's going to bottom and head up. Maybe we're making a bottom here, but we don't have that crossover yet, that weekly vertical crossover. We'll keep waiting, hoping for that, or potentially a 2-day recross going down. So watch gold as we get into this new week. Now, as we review what's going on, let's keep our eye on the prize and see if we're going to have weekly vertical crossovers anytime soon, particularly on the S&P. Maybe not so soon on the Qs. Maybe all this will die over this next week. What's happening with bonds? As we see bonds bottom and slide sideways, they're getting ready to reverse over, bouncing off that 200 period moving average line. You see that light pink or sort of chartreuse maybe line at the bottom of the page. Is that going to be a floor? Maybe it is. We'll see. And what about gold? Is gold finding a bottom, and is it going to be heading up in the coming weeks? We'll let these charts lead us. Remember, we follow trends primarily, weekly vertical crossovers, and of course, 2-day recrosses. You don't know what those are? Buy our book, Charting Your Way to Wealth. Follow the link in your show notes. Lastly, we go to Bitcoin. Touched on this earlier. Price percent oscillator still pulling away slightly from the red signal line on that weekly chart. Derivative oscillator gaining downward momentum. You know, we had Bitcoin pop up and hit the $59,000 plus mark. We look at where it is this week. It did pop up almost to $59,000. But again, we still see that oscillation heading down on the weekly chart. 2-day chart, price percent oscillator a little less than flat. And again, we can see where things have been hitting about the same area over the last 3 days. Derivative oscillator negative, losing a little bit of downward momentum. And of course, what happens when we look at this half-day chart is maybe just sort of a little ceiling effect. And of course, we look over here where things were before, sort of bouncing up there. What's Bitcoin going to do over the course of this next week or 2 or 3? Is it going to break through the $59,000 plus, maybe $60,000 ceiling and slam up? Or is it going to hit some headwinds there and roll back over going down? We don't know yet. We'll watch, wait, and see. That's where we are as we end the day and we end this shortened 4-day trading week. Hope that you have a wonderful Easter holiday. God bless. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth World Headquarters.